today, Shohei Ohtani, just always kickstarting our heart, kickstart my heart. Swinging the bat well, 103-mile-per-hour line drive into right field.
Here tonight, as we welcome you to the Angels Live post-game show, Ken French, that is Tim Salmon. We talked in the pregame show about the break couldn't come at a better time. After these last two games, the break couldn't come at a better time.
Yeah, you're hoping for a little bit of momentum going into the break. Boy, I tell you, it's just hard. I mean, there's such a contrast of talent on the field right now. I mean, when you're looking at the Dodgers versus the Angels and where they're at right now, you've got a lot of star firepower on that Dodgers side, very good pitching, and then on the opposite side, you're hoping that Suarez figures it out. And quite honestly, you have a lot of young guys out there that, have been shuttling back and forth to Salt Lake. So you're not really surprised by the end of the result, but you hope that it could have been a little bit more fight and given you, maybe something to go for. A little bit of momentum going into the All-Star break.
Yeah, Dodgers now 60-30 as they head to the break. Not a weakness really in that lineup. A lot of depth, and that has shown over the last 2 days. We'll talk about Jose Suarez, a guy that's been shuttled back and forth between the big leagues and AAA, trying to find a groove, if you will. But he's had a really tough time trying to get through that fifth inning and that third time in the lineup. But tonight, he was good, though, early, Tim. I mean, in the first 10 batters, he had 0-2 counts, or 5 of the first 10, he had 0-2 counts.
Yeah, I mean, he did a pretty good job. When you consider the fact that the Dodgers, count to Justin Turner that turns into a walk, and Muncy, gets a 2-0 fastball. Again, the focus completely looks different with men on base when there's traffic out there than when he's pitched with no one on base. I don't know if that's a mental thing, a mechanical thing. They know internally what it is, but that's been Suarez's issue the last couple outings, and you got to get over that hump because he's a guy that they're going to need to pitch the second half.
Yeah, he's got big league stuff. We've seen it over the last 4 years. Hasn't been able to find that consistency yet here at this level, and he's facing a Dodger lineup that one of the most patient in the National League, if not Major League Baseball, the lowest whiff rate in the National League since 2017. So they sit, they wait, they take their walks, they're patient, they make you pitch, and they made Suarez pitch here tonight. There was a positive note, though. We talk about Jo Adell. He's back up from AAA, his third call-up this season, out in right field. Still finding his way, Tim. We kind of watched him, some good, some bad. Tonight, though, he showed that he's got quite the arm.
He did. That was a very much a positive thing to start at the time. It was right there. But again, it was really impressive. And sitting from the press box watching it, like I said, I thought, oh, okay, he's going to come and make a throw to the base. And the next thing you know, the guy was out. I thought, wow. That was impressive. That was an impressive arm throw right there.
Yeah, he got turned around last night at the wall, but made a diving catch last night as well. Made a great throw tonight. So hopefully more positives here down the road. He needs more confidence in his defense as we take our first time out here on Angels Live post-game show when we do come back. Hey, about Brandon Marsh. He's been in a slump for the last month, but boy, the last 2 games. How about 2 homers over the last 2 games? We'll talk about Marshy on the other side. They get swept on this freeway series. The final game tonight, your final is 7-1. As you welcome me back outside, Ken French, that is Tim Salmon. Let's talk about some positive things. Let's talk about the All-Star game coming up here on Tuesday in Los Angeles. Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout named as starters this year. Trouty, his 10th. Shohei, his 2nd consecutive. Shohei Ohtani, though, what a spectacle it was last year in Colorado. The altitude, the home run hitting contest. No one
navigating through that. I thought he would definitely be a guy that could contend against the polar bear and win that. But, here's what's interesting. I mean, these 2 guys are obviously leading. You're looking at the guys with 150 total bases, 50 RBIs, and 50 runs. It's obviously not enough for this team because they just don't have enough of a supporting cast at this point. But just having fantastic starts, both of them in the All-Star game. It is interesting. A couple notes. Mike Trout got pulled from the lineup at the start of the game. What does that mean for the All-Star game coming forward? And then Shohei Ohtani, we've heard today that he's not going to pitch in it. And also, he's not doing the hitting as well. That was a rumor we heard on the bench, so I'm just telling you, maybe you heard it here first.
All right, well, breaking news from Tim Salmon. Yeah, Mike Trout scratched late with the upper back spasms. Hopefully, we'll see how he progresses over the next couple days. But here are your all-star starters when it comes to the American League. Of course, Trouty, flanked by 2 Yankees, having incredible seasons. Judge continues to hit home runs. Vladdy Jr., you can't say enough about him. But, oh, by the way, Kirk behind the plate, that guy can mash.
He can mash. Yes, he is a masher now. you watch him run the bases, you wouldn't necessarily think so, but this guy has been able to hit every stop along the way.
Yeah.
He's, I think, one of the young up-and-coming, catchers in the game where it's not just about the defense behind the plate. He can also hit, much like a Yadier Molina that we've been able to watch for the last dozen years.
And that is the one and only Mark Gubiza, who once again has carved out some time for us here in the first segment.
I really appreciate you inviting
So
me
good
down
to
here.
have you here, and that seat, we kept it warm for you. And let's talk about this first half in a moment, but what I want to get to, guys, is you got a 5-day break coming up, which it seems like that's a lot of time for a lot of teams here. And when you have a team that's struggling like the Angels, what is the focus, Tim, over these next few days? Do you want to shut it down, think about nothing, everything but baseball? I mean, what's the thought process?
Well, it definitely is all that, especially the team, the way they've been playing to this point. You definitely want to clear the head. Just take your days off, get your body, relaxed, do whatever you have to do, just kind of get away from the game for a few days. I think it's important tonight to hopefully get a win because you want to go in with a little bit of momentum going into the second half. But without a doubt, I think just clearing the head, that's what this is all about. Take the break and enjoy it.
Yeah, I think when you're playing well, you don't want those days off.
Right.
I mean, but when you're struggling like this is an opportunity for everyone to just clear their mind and start getting rid of that negativity and think, all right, back in early May, this team was 10, 11 games over 500. Can we get back to that positive mindset and start playing well in the second half? It all starts here tonight. You win here tonight, carry the inner. I'll tell you what, though, Tim, as a pitcher, that Thursday back, you're feeling pretty good about that because a hitter, it's all about timing. You got 5 days off. I'm out there going, I want to pitch that day because the timing, especially early in that game, first time through, should be the advantage for the pitchers coming back.
Let me tell you what, that 32-ounce bat starts, it feels like 35 ounces, when you come back. I mean, it's amazing how, when you're finely tuned, swinging a bat like that just all of a sudden starts to feel heavy.
Make sure you wear your sunscreen. That's all I can tell you. You don't want to come back with a sunburn, Mark Gubiza. But also, you mentioned something that was interesting. You said in one of your seasons, you guys weren't playing well at all going into the break, and all of a sudden coming out, you found something.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes that break off, you clear your mind, you get off to a little bit of a slow start, then all of a sudden you gain momentum and start going back to reflecting on what you were successful at certain points of the season. If this team goes back to thinking, how were we successful? How were we 10, 11 games over 500? We were swinging the bats well. We were pitching well. When we had leads, we were holding leads out of the bullpen. So that's what you start thinking about. You can't even think about what went wrong there during this stretch of time where everything is going wrong for you on the pitching side, on the hitting side, because it's there. Even talking to guys today, Baltimore won, 10 games in a row, 11 games in a row. Seattle's won 13 games in a row. Why can't the Angels go out and do the same thing? Because they were at one point as good as any team in baseball.
And this has been a frustrating stretch, no doubt, over the last couple months. But as you mentioned, out of the gates, the Angels, one of the best teams in baseball for a reason. There were some incredible moments, historical moments, and we are going to give you our favorites right now. Tim Salmon, I'm going to start with you. And I'm shocked a little bit. You're not going with the bat. You're going with the arm.
Well, anytime you get a no-hitter thrown, I mean, that's pretty special, especially when it's from one of your young pitchers. I mean,
this for him, 12 innings is 2 earned runs. He's throwing the ball well, getting that different arm slot. So, yeah, that was a fun moment to see him throw that no-hitter.
First Angel rookie to throw a no-hitter since Bo Belinsky did it in 1962. And by the way, that was his first shutout in any level, college or pro. It's remarkable considering the talent that he does have. So now, Tim, now that your moment's done, we're going to jump on the Shohei Ohtani train.
By the
for a moment.
way to go with the pitching side, Tim. I appreciate that. You had to go with the real athletes. Way to go, man.
When I saw that come through, I saw the email, I was surprised.
We saw a hitter hit left-handed and hit a home run that night. That just tells you what kind of athletes us hitters are.
That was softball, is what that was. Okay, let's go to you, Shohei Ohtani. But this was a kind of a back-to-back thing going on.
June 21st and June 22nd. What Shohei Ohtani did, nobody's ever done in the history of the game. What he did, swinging the bat.